Hey there, it's Christy here at My Artful Adventures, and today we're going to be putting together this little ring-bound journal folio called Gingerbread Dreams. And I think you're going to like this because it's a little bit different. It's so much easier for the construction than the other things that we have been doing in the Paper Voyage. And so I think that you will find this nice, and at this time of year, I think we all would like something that's going to not take us quite so long, right? So in your kit, you've got your rings to use. And when you get this cut out, keep this. This is going to be your guide for punching the holes in the side. And so what I want you to do is cut out your main pieces. And so you've got your fronts here, your front and your back cover. And just cut this so you've got a little bit around this, because then what's going to happen is we will apply this to the back, and then you can cut this out. But this way you have a better idea of where to put your glue on the back. I would go ahead and just use some of your glue stick on this. All these things that have so, excuse me, so much area to cover, I would just use a glue stick. And by the way, I've had some people tell me that they really like this one. I've gotten some of this Avery glue to use. Some of my other paper crafter friends say they really like that. So these two striped pieces are the backs for the front and the back covers. So you can go ahead and trim these out and get this glued on here, and then we'll go from there. The other pieces you're going to want to cut out is there are two long strips like this. So those will be folded in half to make pockets. And then you've got two medium size pieces and then two large pieces. And that's what we're going to be working on today. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll set these off to the side, and we will go ahead. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. So let's go ahead and get some glue on these. I should put a piece of paper. Do I have a piece of just plain paper? Well, if I could get the top off the glue stick, that would be a bonus. Okay. Actually, maybe I'll just kind of put this in the middle. So we're just going to put this on here and just give it a good coverage. And that way you'll know you have it down everywhere. And if you miss a little bit, it's not going to be a big problem. I should have put that on another paper because I don't want that glue on the front, right? And so now I need to get one of these out of the way so I can actually see what I'm doing. Make sure you've got the little top part down low enough that you've got that little candy piece onto your backing. And then just give it a good press to get it down good. Get it applied everywhere. And now we'll do the other one. And as soon as I get these things glued down, I'm going to just let them rest and dry. Let me see here. Here's a piece. I'll just use this for now. I'm going to let these dry before I try cutting them, because that'll just give them, it'll be easier. I won't be trying to cut through wet glue with my scissors. That doesn't seem like an excellent idea. All right. Oh, I can't grab that up there. Okay, now if you want to, you might want to make sure that either you've got these going the exact opposite ways. Or wait, does it even matter? No, it doesn't matter. That is not going to make a difference. You just never know, right? Sometimes different kinds of patterns are going to lay different, and you want to make sure you've got them go in the right direction. Okay, so we're just going to get that on there. Smooth it down. Okay, now I'm going to set these to the side, let those kind of rest and dry, and we'll start working on the other pieces. So, let me grab them back up here. Okay, these strips we are going to fold in half. Go ahead and score them. I just folded them in half so that I could get a better idea of where the actual middle was. And on these, I'm not going to glue these completely close. I'm going to make a pocket. So I'm only going to run a little bit of glue along the bottom and up the side. And I'm going to do that on both those because I'm just going to make a little pocket. If you don't want a pocket, just go ahead and close it all the way up. If you're going to do that, you might want to use the glue stick. So I'm going to do that on both of these. You guys, I told you this was going to be so much easier to put together, right? This is going to be fast. The longest part of this is probably going to be cutting it out and maybe doing the decorating part. But this will be fun to go ahead and decorate. And notice I'm not putting glue along that side. You've already got the paper there. I'm not going to make it any tighter than that. So we've got 2 pockets. Okay. These you can score right down the center, which I've already done. You guys, look, I'm getting good at speeding us along, right? And these, I'm going to make a side pocket. We'll make a pocket. We're going to leave that part open. So that means on these, we're going to put glue on the rooftop and then just down at the bottom. And then we'll have a side pocket. Okay. I'm so croaky. I tell you, I know there have been so many people that have not been well. I hope you all are doing well. And again, so then I've already scored these in the middle. I can just give those a fold. I can make them tighter, but you know, since they're going to be a pocket anyway, they don't need to be super, super tight, right? I probably will go ahead and score them, not score them. I'll probably burnish them down another time as we start to assemble it. So we get all of these down here. And then our large ones, though, I'm going to go ahead and use the glue stick on the big ones. And the reason I'm going to go ahead and completely close those up, and I tell you what, I might just, it's so messy with this glue stick, I'm probably going to go around and fill in all the inside. And then I'm going to go back and I'll just do the edge with the liquid glue. That way I know that I've got it all sealed up tight and the edges won't be coming loose. And that's just the way that I do it. If you want to put something underneath and get your whole, get your whole thing down there, you could do that too. Oh, that didn't, oh my goodness, I fold it first, you guys. Oh my goodness, it didn't fold really good. My scoring did not score the best. And now I got the glue down already. This is what I'm always telling you. I can always show you things not to do, right? But that glue stick gives it just a little bit of slip and slide. Oh my goodness. You know what? Guys, I'm going to have to put that in my, let's see. And now I got glue all over everywhere. But I'm going to have to put it in here and give this another quick score. Get that off of there. I hope I don't have too much glue on there. I don't think so. All right. Let's try it again. And you can bet the next one I'll make sure it closes good first. Okay. Boy. All right. I'm just going to wiggle that over here. Now, if I don't get it really straight, I can always use some ink. Okay, phew. Saved. I can trim, well, and I can use some scissors and trim that off a bit when that's dry. Phew, saved. Saved that one. Okay, so you can bet I'm going to make sure this one folds good first, right? Okay. Oh, goodness. All right. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to make sure I got plenty of glue. I'm sure glad that this glue stick is bigger than what I was using before, because those other ones weren't very big. And man, I was going through those really quickly. I'll show you. I think the other one is still here. This was that Scotch. Look at the difference in the size. These things, boy, if you're using them for things like this, they don't really last that long. So I was glad. I just ordered these on Amazon. So when they came and I opened them up, I was glad to see the size of them. You know, I don't know if you're like me, but a lot of times I will, you know, I'll see something and it'll tell how big it is. Well, that means nothing to me if I don't regularly use it. And I mean, how do I know how much 1.27 ounces is in a glue stick? I don't. Would you? I don't know. Oh, that makes me wonder, what is this tiny size? This is 0.28 ounces. So yeah, that's a difference. All right, there we go. Got all of that glued up. It's all ready to go. So now what we're going to do is cut these out. And so now you just cut around the edge of this. Because there is some detail of this line work on the other side of this too, this is the part we're going to punch the holes in. So this is going to be kind of the little, well, not really a hinge, but this will be our section where the holes are punched. Because of that, I do want to make sure that I cut on the outside of that line, because that pink line continues on the inside of that. So I'll just make sure I leave that in there. Some of these things, when you cut them, you know, there's a little bit of a border around, which makes it really nice because you don't have to be so careful as you go around it. It's got a little, it's almost like it makes it kind of like a sticker effect. And so you don't have to be so precise in getting right around the edge of it. And I kind of like that aspect of some of the things to cut out. I will also let you know, this will be the last one of these from this designer that we'll be using. And going forward, we're going to be doing the Paper Voyage only quarterly through the year. And our first one in 2026, oh, can you believe that year number, is going to be in February. It will be coming out. So that's when we're going to be doing our next one. And so all of these have been fun, and it has been a good, you know, introduction into doing the kits. But I think I'm ready to move on and do something else. Okay, I'm going to get the next one ready, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we can go ahead and start punching holes in all of these that we've got. And so here's our little punch guide. And yours may, for some reason, some of them printed square. I have no idea why. So what you want to do is just go ahead and punch these. Try to get this in the middle. And this will make sure that on all your pages you've got them lined up. Some of the smaller pieces are only going to be able to use two of these. Like these pockets, you're only going to be able to get 2 of these in here, like this. So, okay, so on the front cover, we're going to line this up here. And just put it on, I'm going to kind of give it a tap to make sure it's lined up here. You could even, if you wanted to, hold it with some clips while you do this, I suppose. I'm just going to wing it. And now I can see where that is. Oh, you guys, oh, phew. I was starting to worry about that, if that was going to go through. These are just this is a new hole punch I got. I never did find my other, just, you know, hole punch like this. My Crocodile does not punch holes this big. So I wanted to make sure that I had, you know, this. So now I can just do this from either side and just make sure that it's lined up. The other one was at the bottom, so this one can be too. And you know what? When things are ring bound, you know, it's a little bit different because they're going to shift and move around anyway once you have the rings on them. So it's not so, you know, it doesn't matter as much, you know, to get them super even. I mean, you want to try, but they're going to shift around anyway while they're on the rings. So it wouldn't even be that noticeable if, you know, if they're a little bit off. Okay, so now we got the front and the back cover done. And now on these, we'll just go ahead and start working on these. Now I'm going to line these up at the bottom, or maybe even I'll put this. Wow, that's kind of hard to hang on to like that. Okay. I don't know. I'd say grab a paper clip or something. It'll be handy. It will be handy for you to work on punching. Okay, so I'll just show you these and then I'll do the other part off camera. So this one goes like this on the little one. And then this one will be able, just line this up. I'm going to put this at the bottom because I don't want my things to be sticking out, you know, past the bottom of my house. They're going to stick up to the top, okay? Stick out the top, but I don't want them sticking out so much at the bottom. So we'll just do each of these. Man, this is kind of hard to get in here. I think if this was very much more paper, I'd really have a problem. But I just got a little set that had actually a hole punch and some binder rings. I'm always needing binder rings, so I thought, oh, why not? And then on the medium size, wow. We're only going to be able to put 2 holes in the medium size as well, you guys. Otherwise, the top one is just going to be half a hole, which seems ridiculous. Okay, I'm going to finish punching these. So that's how those go. The small pocket and this one only have 2 each. Okay, oops, I'm almost holding them up too high. So I'm going to finish punching those and be right back. Okay, so the next thing you want to do, and this is the way I'm going to lay mine out. You could put your small pockets together and have your 2 short ones together if you want, but I'm going to layer these so I've got a small one, a medium, and a large one, and then again small, medium, and large throughout the book. So I think that'll add some interest. Okay, so let's take our next little part here. These are, you know, this is going to make kind of a little place that you could do some writing. This piece right here, oops, I had another piece here. What did I do with it? I don't know. Okay, on your sheets, you'll see that all of these pieces are printed with this pink side. One side has a wider piece, and this is going to be turned under. That'll be the cover of this section. Now these, I don't like the way that this was done, and I cut all of the pink strip off of these, so they all had like a smaller, thinner pink stripe. I've cut those, I've removed it, and I have scored each of these at 3/8 of an inch. So once you get that done, you're going to take this one and you're going to score it there and turn it back. These are not going to have your pink flap. You're going to cut that off, your pink tab. Cut the pink tab off. Score these at 3/8 of an inch, and these you're going to bend towards you. So the white part is like that. You're not going to see the white part because we're going to glue that down. Okay, we're going to glue those together. So now you can just stack these up in whatever order you want. So just fold them down. Fold them back down. And then we're just going to put a little glue to each of those. So we're going to fold this over here. We're going to make this kind of like a little signature. We're going to bind them together with some glue. Okay, so we're just going to put this on here, tiny bit of glue. And then I'm just going to lay this here along there. We want to make sure that still closes though, right? So make sure it closes, and that you've got it pretty straight. If you have it a little off, you can trim that off later. Okay, and then you're just going to layer these. So the next one is just going to lay right on top. So just glue, put this little bit of glue right here. This now has become our little glue tab. Just lay it right on top. Okay. This way we have cut out a bunch of that bulk. And this is going to lay nicer. It won't be so bulky. And the other way, I didn't really like the way it laid down. So we're going to cut all that off. Now you still won't be able to see that. Now I could trim a little bit of this off. I got a little bit showing, not too much. It's not too bad. And now you can put these wherever you want. They're kind of meant to be on this middle-sized page. And so you can glue these here, glue them on the inside of where your rings are, your holes that you punched, so that they're not in the way. And then you can just line those up. And now you've got a nice little signature. If you want to put it on the large one, you can do that. I actually think I'm going to put it on a larger one. I like the candy canes. I think I'll put it on, well, I don't know. I kind of like it on this. I'm just going to put it on this one, you guys. So now, you know, Okay, so all those go up. You know, I am going to trim this tiny amount off so that as you open that last page, you don't see it. Otherwise, you're going to see that when you open the last page up. Okay, so now just go ahead and put the glue on this part, your little pink glue tab there. And you could use some double-sided tape here if you want. Just make sure you have it out of the way of the rings. Try and kind of line it up. And then that's all you need to glue is right there. Okay? So, now we've got our little signature done. Now we've got a ton of things to use to decorate with. So, I would leave the book unassembled because these pieces are going to also have to have holes punched in them. As you place these on here, you can see they're going to go over our holes. But if you don't go ahead and punch your holes first, now if the crocodile had a big enough thing, and if you are going to use your crocodile instead to punch your holes, you could put all of these together before you do any of that, because that would work just fine. Okay, so you're going to have to decide, how you want to do it. I wanted some bigger holes in here, and so I knew that these were not going to punch through all the layers at once. So now, once I get these pockets on where I want them, I can just turn this over and re-punch, from the back side. And, that's all there are. There are all these pockets. And so I'm going to work on those. These are some cute ones, like this. Now, some of these go all the way to the edge. They go edge to edge. And so that's nice. Because then some of the other ones, like this one, you're going to have to put, I would say bump it into the middle of the page, because that way you get plenty of room to where your holes are going to be punched. So that's what I am going to do with this one. And it's going to leave enough room. I'm just feeling where those are. So yeah, if you run it all the way over here, your hole is barely going to be right here. I mean, it's barely going to be covering, like the edge of this is going to be so close to the hole that I punched. It's going to look kind of odd from this side. But if I bump it over a little bit, it'll work like that. So I'm going to do some decorating, and then I'll come back and flip through and show you what I've done. And I mean, from here, it's just all about how you want to put it together. It's your journal. You can do whatever you want to with it. So go ahead and have some fun. I will say that some of these are meant to be some staggered pockets. And so actually I would suggest that you lay some of these out and see where they go first. How you might want to stagger them. As I went through here, I kind of missed the opportunity to do that with a couple of them. So, go ahead and lay those out and see where those work together best. And they are not all the same width. So, some of them might be something like you have a smaller one here and the bigger one here. You're just going to have to, play with it and see what you want to do and how you want to lay it out. I have got all of these put together. I've got pockets everywhere. And so some of these, I have had to use a couple of different things. I did have a bigger, because once you start, I initially punched the holes and then they were getting covered up. Now, if they're not too covered up and you can still see them on the other side, like the cover here, you can just punch back through this original one, and then I could see it, and it was easy. The other ones, I still had to use the punch guide, and if you have very many layers that you have put on here that you're having to punch through, then, it's a little bit harder, and you might have to actually use a crocodile or, make sure you're punching through things as you go, which that would have been a smarter thing for me to do, but I did not do that. And this is why a lot of times once you make one, then you know what you're doing. And, there's just little nuances like that you don't know until you've actually gone through it. And so I've put all of these together with just one ring at the bottom, because remember, not all of them had a top ring. So I've got them together here. So now I can flip through and decide if that's really, the order that I want them. It would still be easy for me to go ahead and change them up at this point. I would only have to, swap them in one ring right now. Okay, now that I got all these together, I'm going to show you what the way that I put the pockets in. And you guys, there's almost more pockets than I could figure out what to do with. But I'll just, give you a flip through and, show you what these look like. And remember, these are going to be pockets in the top of these as well. So we have got just all kinds of pockets in here. I put the little cookies words on here. Here's a pocket. I put the two tiny pockets I put right here. These look like they could use a little bit of inking because you can't really see them very well. But here's our little, journal thing that we did. And this is why we cut that little back part off, because now it's not sticking out like it was a mistake. So that looks fairly good. Here's a pocket here. We've got the great big side tuck pockets here. I put the gingerbread girl and the boy on the back. Here's another one that just has a single pocket, but lots of these were meant to be stacked pockets. And, since they're different widths and everything, you just have to decide, how you want to do that. I put the candy words up here. If you're going to put the candy words in, one easy trick is because it's an uneven number, go ahead and start with your very middle letter. So it's because there's 5 pieces, start with your middle letter, stick it in the center, and then you can work your way out to the sides. So that makes it an easy way to get things on fairly even. I could not even figure out enough places to put some of these things. And so I had this side tuck pocket over here. So then it made, I didn't have anywhere really to put this. I could have gone ahead and layered them like this. You could have layered the girl and boy in opposite directions, but I don't think there's any pages on here wide enough to actually make that, to where it works. But what I did do was I took this one and I just scored at that 3/8 of an inch. I think 3/8 of an inch makes a nice distance to score things from, so that you get a nice place to do some glue and bending. Otherwise, a 1/4 inch sometimes is kind of a tight squeeze to make something. So this just opens up here. I used this number 25 and only glued 2 sides, so you could use it as a tuck spot right there too. This is another layered pocket, 2 pockets here. And this one actually has 3 right here. So here's 1, 2, and 3. Remember, the big one does not have a side pocket. This one has a side pocket right here. So, there's all kinds of little places that you can tuck goodies away. I used one of the number 25s here, so it was kind of like a house number on here. So I'm still, I'm not finished with my tags and stuff. So I'm going to work on those, and then when I get those done, I will stick them into places, and we'll see. Oh, wait a second. Hey, let's finish these. Here's the 2 little envelopes that came with these. So these get scored. Let's score those real quick. Both of these envelopes will go together the same way. You just want to score them on the outsides of this back rectangle. The pink rectangle is going to become the back. So we'll just score those real quick. Just bend them. If you don't have a good score tool to use, just bend them, and you could use a ruler and bend them up against that. So here, let's just do the other one. Let me show you how it would work if you only have like a ruler. A stainless steel ruler is really a great ruler to have on hand, you guys. This one's a little bit long. This is 18 inches and kind of gets in the way. But one of the things that you can do, oh, it's so long, is just take it, put it to this edge of where you need to score, and then just, bend it up against your ruler. Now, this isn't the way that needs to go, but I don't have markings on the back. So I can just fold it against it. Just put it out, oh my goodness, maybe about a 1/16 of an inch. It's not very much. And just hold, and this is a cork back ruler, so it makes it nice and easy to, get a grip on your surface so it doesn't slide all around. And so you can just go around and get those done. Yeah, I'd say about a 1/16 of an inch. It is the very small amount that you need. But you can't put it on the line because it's not going to bend where you want it. It'll bend away from your line if you do that. So just bend it like that. And then you've got made an easy way if you didn't have like a scoreboard. And those metal rulers are great for that. So now we're just going to, and still, it's not as good as a scoring tool, but it works. A lot of times, don't let not having all the, the perfect tools keep you from doing something, right? So here's how this goes. The middle decorative part is the top. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put, let's see how far this goes up. That really didn't score in the best spot. Okay, and then you can just burnish it. So what I like to do is I like to take a pencil, but I don't see one here now. Well, shoot. Well, I got a pen. I'll just mark it like that. Oh, I see a pencil. I see a pencil. I see a pencil. Take this and just underneath, do a little ticky mark so you can see how far up that your glue can go. Okay, you don't want your glue going up past that. And it's better if you've got angles cut on this already, only put your glue on the tab. That way you know you're not going to be getting glue down there on the envelope and glue your pocket shut. Okay, so now you got a place right here you can hang on to. Well, you bend that up, get this one over, bend that down. Okay, so now we've got that. Now you got to have some way to close it, right? And if you have the Paper Voyage kit, you got a couple of little Velcro dots in there. They're in your one little package with some, what are they? Bulb pins. Couldn't think of it for a second. So you've got bulb pins in there. So I'm just going to cut these two. I like to try to get those things all separate so they're easy for you to take out and get to when you need them. So this has got two carrier sheets, one on the front and one on the back. So all we're going to do is we're going to take off one carrier sheet, and it doesn't really matter. These are self-adhesive, the little Velcro dots. So, and they really are Velcro. They're not hook and, well, they are hook and loop, but they are Velcro. So now I'm just going to take this, and you can see I've got the carrier sheet. I've got the sticky side. I'm going to put the sticky side right here, give it a good little press, and then remove the carrier sheet that I had a hold of. These are so tiny. Okay, so that's on there. And now all I have to do is fold it over and then just give it a good press, and that's all. That has great adhesive on it, and it makes it super easy to do. Where's the other envelope I had? Oh, here it is. This one's a little bit different. It's got these angle cuts here. So on this one, you want to fold up the bottom, and when you've got this style of an envelope, you look at it and you see, does my front piece go higher or lower than the side flaps? If it goes higher, I don't want to put glue clear to the edge. You know, if it extended here, then it would be gluing my other thing shut. So because I know that, I can just put glue right here on the edge of this. I could put it here. I don't know exactly how far over it's going to go, but that way it will kind of seal the edges, and I won't have to worry about where it's going to stick, right? And you can, just to make sure you're safe, stick in your, your bone folder or something. Make sure that you didn't get any glue that seeped out where it wasn't supposed to. Okay, now I got another little Velcro dot here. Same thing. Just peel off one side, one carrier sheet, and stick it here in the middle. Pull off the other carrier sheet from the back, fold it over, and ta-da! You got yourself a nice little envelope with a great closure. So that's all that is. And now you can just put those anywhere in any pocket that you want to. Just stick it wherever you would like in all this goodness. Now, I've got this whole pile of other tags and stuff. I'm going to start going through here and punching my punching holes in the things that are tags so that I can run some ribbon through them and make them pretty. And then these, some of these are so big, you guys, they could easily be used like for some journaling. So depending on what you want to use your little thing here for, you'll be all good to go. Some of these little holes, this punch side is perfect for the holes that were shown in here. The other ones are a little bit, my punch is a little small for that. But, if you don't like that, take a little bit of ink and run it around there, and it won't look so, you won't have that white contrast on there. But otherwise, that's it for basically the constructing and a little bit of the decorating. So that's how I put this together. It's your journal. You put it together however you want. You put as many or as few pockets in, because, honestly, if you want to use this more as something to add pictures to, then, you're not going to want to probably put as many pockets. But it's just up to you, you guys. These are just fun little things. And remember, our short ones have a pocket up at the top too. So my goodness, there's all kinds of things. So I'm going to work a little bit more on those, and I will be back to show you the finished project. Okay, here it is. Here's our final, our final project put together. So let's take a quick peek of, how I put it together. And like I said, it's your journal, you guys. You can do whatever you want to. So here's my little pocket inside here. Here's these little cards that you can use. Those are great for journaling or whatever you want to use them for. I just stuck this little gal right here. So I thought that would be kind of cute right here. And remember the little short pockets, if you made, or the little short panels, had a pocket in the top if you left them that way. So there's all kinds of little pockets everywhere. Here was our little journal type thing. You could decorate that if you wanted to. This one we left a side tuck pocket over here. Let's see. There's so many flips and flaps here. I hope I don't forget something. This was just a fun little thing to tuck in somewhere. And you guys, some of these ribbons that are a little bit thicker, I just used my tiny attacher, you know, the little tiny, with the stapler with the tinies and staples, and I just, you know, did that. Here's this little tiny envelope. You could probably put some of these tiny things in. Oh, how cute would that be to stick a little tiny note in there? Oh, maybe write a tiny note to Santa. Wouldn't that be fun? And this one, this was the larger one that cut out. And I cut it out and I just glued him here, here, and here. So he can actually be another little tuck spot right there. I like doing that with little small pieces that you can just put, you know, a little bit of glue on the bottom, the side, whatever, and it gives you an immediate another tuck spot. So here's a little pocket here. And you know, if you ink some of these things, they show up a little bit better. These little things, I just grabbed some baker's twine and I just put these together so they kind of have a little movement. That makes it a little bit fun. Let's stick those in there. These tiny little cards fit in this little envelope. The ones that were this size, they fit right in that little envelope. So there's that. And what else have we got? Just stick that somewhere, anywhere. Any of your things can go in any pocket anywhere, right? Here are some of those little letters that cut out, and I put candy on here. Did we already pass another one? I don't even remember. And here was that funny way I did that. Here's one of those 25s, and I did the same thing here and made a little tuck spot there. So you could have some little fun surprise tucked in there as you move through. Again, this was a side pocket. And, you know, just all the fun things. Just stick them in anywhere you want to, you guys. Just have fun with it. This actually has 3 pockets right here. That's a pocket here, this level, and this one. And then I put 25 back here over this pocket with a house, so it kind of looked like a house number. So you guys, just have fun with it. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'm sorry that it has taken me so long to get the finished, completed video out to you. Thank goodness the project wasn't too detailed and too hard this time. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and I hope you will share yours when you're finished. I'd love to see them. So just, you know, just shoot me a message. You can put it in our group over at the Artful Adventures Clubhouse. That's a free group, and you can share it in there if you want to, or just tag me on your page, and hopefully I'll see it if you if you put it in your own on your own profile. You guys have a wonderful season, and I will talk to you later.